how reproduction occurs in living organisms, how meiosis occurs. We have two types of cell division, basically. Our body is made up of billions of cells, if not trillions, okay? There are some cells in our body called somatic cells. Somatic is spelled S-O-M-A-T-I-C, somatic cells. Somatic cells are responsible for growth. How you grow. Your baby, for example, if your finger has about 1,000 cells, when they divide, they form 2,000 cells. That means your finger will get bigger. Okay? That is mitosis. Right? But for meiosis, which we are actually focusing on, it is not major, it's not for growth. It is a stage before reproduction. And there's a reason for that. In our normal body cells, we have 46 chromosomes. How many chromosomes?
46 chromosomes.
46, thank you. Do you know what we call chromosomes, please? Who can tell us the meaning of chromosomes? What are chromosomes? Anybody? Female, welcome. What are chromosomes? Medium. Anybody, any idea? What's the meaning of chromosome?
No idea, sir.
No idea. Female, can you try? What do you call chromosomes? Maybe I'm speaking grammar. Let me type what I mean by chromosomes here. What do you know? What do you know as chromosomes? Anybody? Chromosome. Can we see that? What are chromosomes?
Yes, we can see.
Chromosomes are carriers of traits. I'll break it down. What it means is that if you have a father and a mother and they give birth to their child, the child has the shape.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Please come again. Chromosomes are what?
Okay. Chromosomes, thank you. Chromosomes are carriers of traits. Carriers of traits. Did we get that?
Of what?
Carriers of traits. Traits. Let me write it down. They are carriers of traits. Can we see that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is that Blessing?
No, it's Stella.
Stella, good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
All right. Chromosomes are carriers of traits. Now, I'm about breaking it down. What it means is that if a man and a woman give birth to a child, and the child has the shape of the nose of the woman, it means that the chromosome that is responsible for the shape of the nose is transferred from the mother to the child. That means the child inherited the shape of the nose from the mother. If the child has the shape of the head of the father, it means that the chromosome for shape of the head is transferred from the father. If the father is tall, a child also is tall, it means that the child got the trait, the chromosome for tallness from the father. That's what they call chromosomes, okay? Chromosome, in each cell of our body, we have chromosomes. We have 46 chromosomes in each cell of our body. But our reproductive cells...
You have how many, sir? Sorry,
46,
how many?
46. 46. There are 46 chromosomes in each cell of our body. In each cell. But in our reproductive cells, we have 23 chromosomes each. In our reproductive cells, we have 23. Can someone tell me the difference between that 46 and 23? What is the difference between two of them? Anyone? What is the difference between 46 and 23? How can you get 23 from 46? Okay, let me break it down like that. How can you get 23 from 46?
It's by dividing it into two.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Who said that? Who was that?
Obina, sir.
Obina, well done. He divided it into two. That dividing into two, that is what meiosis does. The main function of meiosis is to divide the chromosome number into two in our sperm and in the egg of a female, egg cell in the female, and the sperm in the male. What meiosis will do is it will divide that chromosome number from 46 to 23. So that when a man impregnated a woman, okay, the 23 chromosome from the sperm will combine with 23 chromosome from the egg cell and join together, and that will now form 46 in the child. Do we get the logic now?
Yes,
Because
sir.
if the chromosome number did not divide before, it means that sperm will carry 46, egg cell will carry 46. If they join together, that would be a problem. We'll be having like 92 chromosomes. And if someone has more chromosomes than normal, that person will be suffering from a disease. Disease like genetic disease like autism, like Down syndrome, like Klinefelter syndrome. Do you know Down syndrome? Does anybody know the meaning of Down syndrome or autism?
Oh, sir.
Have you seen children before that they cannot coordinate themselves? They'll be, I don't want to use the word, but more or less they call them imbecile.
Yes, sir.
You know, imbecile. The reason why they are looking like that is because their chromosomes are either more or lesser. That's to tell you the importance of that meiosis. It's very important. The chromosome must divide equally. If it does not divide equally, it will be a problem. If that sperm cell that chromosome number did not divide equally should go and fertilize egg cell, the child that you're going to give birth to, we have that problem. And the effectiveness of that division actually reduces as someone grows older. That's why they will advise a woman, if you want to give birth, make sure you give birth to all your children before you are 40 years old. Because if immediately you are getting above 40, you are more prone to give birth to children that would not be that intelligent or might have that problem because of meiosis. All right, now let's look at stages in meiosis. Meiosis is in two cycles. We have stage 1 and we have stage 2. But each of the stage, they go through prophase, metaphase, anaphase, and telophase. This is what I mean. I'll still go back to the other one so I can actually write it. Now, the first thing that happens is that we have a stage called the resting stage. The resting stage is called interphase. Interphase is when the cell is not dividing at all. The cell is just resting. Okay? That means that actually happens when a cell has finished dividing. It will rest for a while. That's interphase. After interphase, it moves to prophase 1. Okay? At prophase 1, that is when the chromosome will now start joining together and form distinct pairs. They will be in pairs. Are we together? It will be like
Yes,
this.
sir.
It will be like this. Can you see that they are in pairs like this? They're in pairs. Yeah. They're in pairs. They will pair up. Chromosome will pair up. And that occurs at prophase. All right. After prophase, we move to metaphase. Metaphase is when the chromosomes will now line up at the equator, at the center of the cell. This is what I mean. Let me show you something, just a moment. Just a moment. So I can understand what I'm talking about. Okay. Please just a moment, please. Can we see this?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Thank you. Okay. Now, if you can see from here, you can see that at metaphase 1 here, the chromosomes now line up at the center of the cell. Okay, that's what happens at metaphase. They all line up at the center of the cell. Okay, at anaphase, the chromosome will now divide into 2 from the center. You can see from here, they're already divided into 2 from the center. Okay,
Yeah.
and at telophase, the cytoplasm of the cell will now start dividing. Initially, what was dividing before was just the chromosomes. Chromosomes were dividing, were forming at the center. But it's at telophase that cytoplasm will start dividing, and it will end up with cytokinesis from the word cytoplasm. Cytokinesis. Who can still remember the meaning of cytoplasm? Can anybody remind us of the meaning of cytoplasm? We did that when we were learning about cells. What is cytoplasm? Anyone? What is cytoplasm? Medium. We can't remember. Our exam is around the corner. Our exam is just here. We need to be going back to the notes we copied before, please. It's very important. Let's always go back to what we have copied before so that we can actually refresh our memory. The way biology works is that it's like you building a house. You have a foundation. You build on it. It's what you have learned before that you are building on. That you can't afford to forget the one you have learned before. You must remember them so that you can be able to flow through with the other ones you are learning now. Cytoplasm is the liquid content of a cell. Okay? It's at telophase, the last stage of the cell division, telophase 1, that cytoplasm will start dividing. And by the time it gets to prophase 2, it will have divided fully into 2 cells. But that's not where we are going to, because it's meiosis. If it's mitosis, it will stop there. But in meiosis, it will continue again to stage 2. Okay? And in stage 2, we move to metaphase 2. Each of the cells that have been formed from the first stage, we now have their chromosome also in the center of the cell. But there's a difference between metaphase 1 and metaphase 2. Who can tell me the difference?
The difference is the first one, they are standing straight, that's vertically, and the other one, they are standing horizontally.
Horizontally, thank you. Well done. That is a good observation. And another one again there. Apart from that again, which other one can you see there? We're looking at this. For people that don't know where, we're looking at this one and this one. How are they different? This one here and this one here. Female.
And the other difference there again is,
okay, go ahead.
At this second one, the blue side is like it is higher than the first one, while the red side is likewise higher than the other one.
Okay, thank you. But there's one I'm looking for that someone has not said. I'm looking for one thing that someone has not said. Look at the arrangement of the chromosomes. Look at the arrangement. Okay, let's move on. The thing is that, look at this one here. The chromosomes at the center here, they are arranged twos. This is one, this second one, this one second. But this one, they are just one. You can see it very well. This one, there are 2 here. This blue here is in pairs. The red one also is in pairs. They are just on each other. But this one is just one like that, arranged at the center. Did we see it?
Okay, yes, I see.
And the reason for this, because this one here is where the number will reduce. The number here will reduce into, initially here, we are starting with about 6, number will reduce to 3. But here, 3 will still be 3 by that one. Look at this one. They are in the center. They will separate from the midpoint of each chromosome to form this one. It's still 3 all through. If you see anaphase, they will divide. Telophase, the cytoplasm will start dividing again. It's like a summary of what happens in meiosis. Are we together?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, if you're asked, you might be asked a question, you might be asked to differentiate between mitosis and meiosis. Okay? Differences
Yes.
between mitosis and meiosis. Number one, mitosis occurs in normal body cells, also known as somatic cells. Are we following?
Yes.
Why meiosis occurs in reproductive cells?
Meiosis is in reproductive cell, while mitosis is in normal cell.
Yes, please. Meiosis occurs in reproductive cells. Sorry, mitosis occurs in body cells. Meiosis occurs in reproductive cells.
Okay, sir.
Another one is that mitosis does not reduce the chromosome number. Mitosis does not reduce the chromosome number, while meiosis reduces the chromosome number.
Okay, sir.
Another one is that mitosis forms 2 daughter cells, while meiosis forms 4 daughter cells.
Sir, what is the meaning of the daughter cell?
Daughter cells means cells that are formed after division, after they have divided. Like babies, what we call babies, but they're not actually babies. We call them daughter cells. These are daughter cells. No, this is the parent cell. This one here is the parent cell. These two that are formed are daughter cells. Okay, these ones here are daughter cells.
Okay, sir.
Okay. I mentioned 3 now, right?
Yes.
Okay. And let's give one more. Okay, mitosis is involved in growth, while meiosis is involved in reproduction. Mitosis is involved in growth, as in the grow, while meiosis is involved in reproduction.
That's 4 differences.
4 differences, because we can never say, can be asked to give differences between mitosis and meiosis. Yes, please.
They want amnesty.
Are you asking a question, female?
Sorry, sir. No, sir.
Okay, all right.
Then mute your mic now.
Okay, let's move on now. Let's move on. That is all about meiosis and importance of meiosis. Whereas meiosis is in formation of spermatozoa. We know the meaning of spermatozoa, right?
Yes.
What's spermatozoa?
Sir, please, when you are done, you send all the notes to us.
Sure, I will send it. I will send it.
Thank
Sure.
you, sir.
I'll send it. Meiosis is formation of spermatozoa. That means formation of sperm cell. Your sperm cells are formed as a result of meiosis. They also help in formation of egg cells. Egg cell in female. The egg that the female releases every month is formed as a result of meiosis. Okay. Number 3, pollen grains in flowering plants. You know what they call pollen grains? Do we know pollen grains?
No, sir.
Pollen grains are those powdery substances. When you touch a flower, your hand will be stained like flowering plant, flower that is big, all those brightly colored flowers. If you touch it like hibiscus, those yellowish substances that will stain your hand from the flower, those are pollen grains. That's more or less like the sperm of flowers, sperm of plants. Those are pollen grains. Those pollen grains are also produced as a result of meiosis.
Okay.
And lastly, ovules in flowering plants are also produced as a result of meiosis. Ovules are small structures in the flower that will later form the seeds. I thought last time we learned about the part of the flower last time. Did we learn that?
Types of flower.
Did we learn that last time?
This one is not even the one I'm looking for.
No, sir.
We did not. Are you sure?
No, we did not, sir.
I thought that they said they return all the
Types of flower.
Okay, we'll still learn it. Don't worry. Still learn that. Okay, let's move on. Any questions so far? So far, so good. Any question? Are we getting it?
Yes,
Get
sir.
it. Getting it.
Right, thank you. All right, these are examples of reproduction in unicellular organisms and invertebrate, lower organisms. Okay, that's what we want to learn now. We want to learn about how lower organisms also reproduce. We've learned about how humans reproduce, part of the human, we'll still learn this in details later on, but we're going to learn about how each of the lower organisms, how they reproduce, how reproduction occurs in amoeba, in paramecium, how it occurs in spirogyra, in earthworm, in cockroach, how do cockroaches reproduce, how do houseflies reproduce, how do snails reproduce. We're going to learn about that one at a time as we move on. All right.
Okay.
Now let's start with the first one. Reproduction in amoeba. Amoeba reproduces by binary or multiple fission. Binary, bi in biology means two. What it means is that if amoeba wants to reproduce, a cell of amoeba will divide into two to form two daughter cells. That is binary fission. But if it is multiple fission, it won't be like this. For multiple fission, a single cell will divide into about 4 or 8 inside that cell. Is when the 8 cells have been formed inside the bigger cell, that cell will now explode and release the remaining 8 cells that have been formed. Please get the difference between binary fission and multiple fission. In binary fission,
Binary is 2.
2. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Multiple and the
Many.
4, multiple.
Thank you. Multiple is many. You are following me. Binary means just 2 cells are formed from one. Multiple means many cells are formed from one. In binary fission, the cell will start dividing from the nucleus and cytoplasm from the start. While in multiple fission, the cell will still be enclosed, while all the cells will be fully formed inside before it will burst and release the cells outside. That is for amoeba. While for paramecium, paramecium can reproduce either sexually or asexually. It's by asexual reproduction, it's still like the other one for amoeba, binary fission. One cell will divide into 2. That is it. But it's by sexual reproduction, they carry out what they call conjugation. And conjugation simply happens when the environment is getting competitive for the paramecium. When there are 2 main paramecium in the environment, what they do is that 2 cells will now be coming close to each other. They will exchange their content. can see from here, you can see that the two cells are close to each other. Here, the content that they have here will now be exchanged here. At the end of the day, the two cells will still remain, but it will not be fully formed and well adapted to the environment. Okay?
Okay,
What they do
sir.
is that just stay close to each other, exchange
Sir, please,
materials.
I'm seeing something here. Yeah, I'm seeing mouses and I'm also seeing singami. As in, is there any difference between, this singami is for the ones below down here, and the mouses is the one up here?
Yes.
And can you differentiate the two for me?
Thank you very much. I love the way you're following me. Okay. Now, the two stages, meiosis and syngamy, they are both involved in conjugation. This is what happened in meiosis, like what we learned before. What is that just happening is that you can see a single cell here forming 4 cells. Single cell here forming 4 cells. Have a single nucleus, single nucleus forming 4 nuclei. Single nucleus forming 4 nuclei here. That is what happens in meiosis. The cell will just, the nucleus just form 4, divide into 4. That is what happens in meiosis. But in syngamy, it will not exchange the formed nucleus. You can see it. You can see that. You can see that an arrow. One arrow here.
The arrow is now changing each nucleus. The red one is going to the other side, while the blue one is.
Thank you. At the end of the day, can you see now? At the end of the day, initially from the start, we only have one blue here, one red here. After syngamy, we can now have one blue, one red, one blue, one red. They've exchanged their nucleus. That's syngamy. Syngamy is when they exchange their nucleus. Meiosis is when the nucleus just divides into many. Is that clear?
Okay. Yes, sir.
Thank you. All right. Another reproduction is found in Spirogyra. Spirogyra is that thing that you see around wet ground when an environment is just wet and you see some greenish something green on it. Those green substances green on it are Spirogyra. All right.
Okay.
They can also reproduce either asexually or sexually. For asexual reproduction in Spirogyra, they use fragmentation. We learned that before. Fragmentation is when one cell divides into many pieces. This is not cell division. Cell division is different. Cell division is systematic. You have the nucleus dividing first. But this one cell will just split into about 4, and those 4 will now later form cells. Spirogyra does that. That's called fragmentation. And but sexually, they do the same way Paramecium also does. They move close to each other, like what you have here. They are close to each other. They exchange their contents. You now have the cells being formed after that.
Okay.
But in Spirogyra, the conjugation results in reduction in number of cells. You can see from here, all the content of this one have been transferred to this one. This one has no content again. This one will later die off.
Okay. Transferring everything to the other one.
Then you transfer everything to the other one. It will die off. This one will not be able to survive. But what is surviving will not be well adapted to the environment and cannot reproduce many. Are we following?
Yes, I'm following, sir.
Thank you.
That's the Spirogyra. They produce either by asexually is fragmentation and while sexually is conjugation.
Thank you. You got it. But let's look at reproduction in earthworms. Now, earthworms are hermaphrodites. What does that mean? That means just one earthworm has both male and female. That earthworm is more or less like it mates with itself. You can see it here. What earthworm will just coil up? It will coil up. It will coil up. It will the male part of the earthworm will now land on the female part of the same earthworm. and transfer the semen.
That's why we have
Are you following?
Yes, sir.
It
That's
will call on each
just
other.
one organism in two sides, both male and the female.
Yes, absolutely. It's just one. One earthworm has both male and female organs together. When it's about to reproduce, the earthworm will coil on each other, on itself. Sorry, not on each other. It will coil on itself. The male part will lie on the female part and to transfer the semen into itself and fertilize the egg. And after a while, it will lay eggs, and the eggs will now hatch to form another earthworm.
Okay, sir.
Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
That is how reproduction occurs in earthworms. Okay, it's just by sexual means. It's reproduction by sexual means, but they are hermaphrodites. Each earthworm has both male and female together.
Sir, is it only this earthworm that has such, or there are other organisms that has also such?
Yes.
It's
Snails
only
also
the-
have that. Snail also has that. Snails also
Okay.
have hermaphrodites.
Okay, sir.
Snails have that too. All right, let's move to reproduction in insects. Insects also reproduce by sexual reproduction. Okay. And
Okay.
what happens is that we have male insects, we have female insects. Like for example, like mosquitoes. We have male mosquito, we have female mosquito. They will mate, exchange their gametes. The male will introduce sperm into the female, and that sperm will fertilize the egg in the female, and the female will later lay eggs. But after laying eggs, that eggs will go through stages of development. Those stages of development in insects is called metamorphosis. Take note of that word. Metamorphosis are stages of reproduction that are carried out by insects.
Okay, from the
Metamorphosis-
egg, sir, from the egg it turned to the nymph, and from the nymph it turned to the adult.
Yes, I was about coming to that. Now, for insects, they have two types of metamorphosis. There are two types. We have complete metamorphosis and we have incomplete metamorphosis. Why for complete metamorphosis is that for complete one, we have the egg that will hatch after the egg has been fertilized inside the female, and the eggs have been laid. They will lay the eggs, they pouch somewhere. All right, the eggs will now hatch into larva. Larva will transform to form pupa. Pupa will form the adult. That's for complete metamorphosis. But for incomplete, egg will form the nymph. Nymph will form the adult. Just 3 stages involved in incomplete. But for complete, 4 stages. Are we together?
Yes, sir.
All right. And examples of insects that carry out complete and incomplete. For complete metamorphosis, you can see that in butterfly, you can see that in the mosquitoes, you can see that in housefly. Those one carry out complete metamorphosis. But for incomplete metamorphosis, that is found mostly in cockroaches. Cockroaches carry out incomplete metamorphosis.
Okay, sir.
Any questions so far?
Now we are good, sir.
Okay, you're good. Thank you. All right, let's look at
Sir,
this.
Sir,
Yes,
all
please.
this you're going through, we need to jot this down. Okay, you're just making an explanation on them. We need to write them down.
I will send, my plan is to send note to you
Okay,
so that
sir.
we can actually, I will not have time to copy the notes.
Okay.
Will there be time for you to copy the notes when I send the note to you?
When you send the note, we'll copy it now. Is it
Okay.
today? Are they sending the note today?
Immediately I finish the class, when I finish this class now, I'll be sending the notes. When I finish, I'll be sending the
Okay.
notes.
So you know we've been lacking a lot. Almost all the notes we've been writing so far, we just write them. It's unless if we'll go through the notes, you've not explained anything on them. You know, more than 5 weeks now, you've been sending notes. You've not made any explanation on them.
But I started explaining since last week. That's why majorly what we are doing now is just to explain. Okay, I'll be
Okay.
explaining majorly so that the notes we've been sending all this while we
Like
just be able to explain.
like the time we did all this aerobic respiration and
Anaerobic
and
respiration. Okay.
something like the photosynthesis, the glycolysis, the chemosynthesis, all these ones. We've been just writing the note and we've not been.
Maybe you were not in that class. Those ones were explained. Maybe you were not there.
Okay, sir.
Female can confirm. Did we explain the photosynthesis, female? Was there an explanation on that?
Sir, there's no big deal. There's no big deal on that. As far as I go through the note, I know how to assimilate everything about it.
That's fine. That's fine. Thank you. Okay. Let's look at this. Can we identify these structures here?
This is the male and the female.
Okay, good. Okay, let me hear from, apart from Obina, can I hear from another person from medium that can give me the name of the letter A to E? Apart from Obina, Obina has been the only one responding. I want someone else apart from Obina to give me the names of letter A to E from here for the male. Medium. Obina, if you are not responding, please go ahead, please, and tell us. Hello, Obina. Hello. Are we still there? Medium, are you there? I need response.
All right,
Sir, we just have our part.
all right, sir. That letter D, as I was saying, D is the penis.
Okay.
Why? The nerve in the penis. That nerve, the pipe. D is the pipe.
D?
Is the pipe.
No, give me the names. You said it before. D is the penis. That is correct. What about A? What about B? What about C? What about D? I'm sorry, you mentioned D. What about E?
E is the seed as well. The seed inside the penis.
Thank you for trying. You know, you have to give them the names, their biological names that will be acceptable when you are writing your exams. Okay? The names that will be acceptable when you are writing your exams are the names you are meant to give. Okay, let's do it together. The A there is called the sperm duct or vas deferens. I'm going to share the screen with you, the other one that will give you the names. Okay, just take note. A is called the sperm duct or vas deferens. B is called the Cowper's gland. C is the prostate gland.
About the okay, C. Okay, I'm gonna say this. You said what? The C is what?
Prostate gland. Prostate gland.
Okay.
D is the penis. E is the testis. Testis is E. Testis. All right, for the female reproductive system, can someone help us out with it? For the female. Female. Yes, go ahead, please. Can you go ahead, female? Give us the names of number 1 to number 1 to number 7. 7, yes. Female, can you go ahead, please? Anyone from female?
Female, female.
Female, are you there?
Repeat your question.
Can you name those letters number 1 to number 7 from what you are seeing on your screen? Can you hear me? Hello?